Hi there! Last time we talked about the simulator mode for aircraft in War Thunder, but this mode is also available for tank battles. Even though its physics model is identical to realistic mode, the gameplay is much different. This is what we're gonna talk about today. Yes, you heard it right. There is no difference in physics or damage model between realistic and simulator modes. But simulator has no target markers either. You basically have no markers at all, apart from allied aircraft markers. This is why bushes and other cover become so important in simulator, as they can now provide real concealment. The repairs take more time as well. Even one direct hit can be enough to make you defenseless, and ultimately, after a few more shots, turn your tank into a smoking heap of twisted metal, all the while your crew is desperately trying to fix your tank back into action. The familiar third-person view is now changed to a view from a commander's cupola, so no more peeking around the corners to check if an enemy is preparing an ambush. The camera is fixed tight, and you can move it only as if you were moving your head just out of the cupola. To get a different view and a slight advantage in urban combat situation, you can change to your driver's camera. This camera is only slightly closer to the front of the tank than commander's, but still offers a different angle of view. Oh yeah, and don't forget to use your binoculars on maps with open terrain. Well, it looks like there are but a few differences between the two game modes, but when combined, they drastically change the tactics and introduce some new ways of combating your enemies outside the usual head-on attack. This is where you can surprise your enemy like nowhere else, but you can fall prey to ambush just as easily. The simulator mode is rich with unexpected encounters, whether it's an enemy tank suddenly rolling out in front of you on a narrow street, or a daring victory brought to life with just a few well-coordinated outflanking tanks. Your trusty map is useful in all game modes, but in simulator it is not important. Remember that your current position on the map can be given to your teammates only by you and no one else. This can be done via a marker placed on the map or by one of the system commands, such as support request. Now, let's talk tactics. Sometimes simulator mode gives life to, rather uncommon tactical solutions, the kind that would simply not work in other game modes. For example, why not surprise your enemy by entering the fray in a high-caliber German AAA? If you manage to sneak up on the enemy, you will be able to deal some serious damage up close, especially if you load AP rounds. Tier 1 and 2 vehicles can be downright mowed down like that. Well, maybe except the KV-1, which got to be countered with few shots at its gun barrel and tank threads first. Once the huge beast is immobilized, you better put the pedal to the metal and run. Though this kind of trick won't work on Kursk, where any AAA will be nothing but an easy frag. Or let's imagine you driving a T-34 and then, suddenly, several enemy tanks appear. What do? You pretend to be a bot. Thankfully, T-34 bots are common. Since there's no marker, this actually works sometimes. Once your enemies are safely away, you can attack them from the rear or the side. When it comes down to vehicle classes, the controls and tactics are pretty much identical. The heavy tanks push up front, medium tanks attack from the sides, while SPGs got to be extra careful when choosing their position here. Keeping in mind that bushes are completely non-transparent in this game mode. Simulator mode is a tactical game mode. Here, the battles are won with well-executed outflanking moves and point control. Only here, Lone Ace Tanker can turn the tide of the entire battle. While your enemies are combing the map looking for you, you can evade them and then simply capture their defenseless base. Just remember that once you start capturing, the enemy team will know that you sit on their flag. But if you're fast and cunning enough, this might work. Stay smart, don't be afraid to experiment, and most importantly, have fun. See you around.